Are you ready for some indoctrination? I'm Jeffey Daugherty, the Christian Whistleblower, coming to you from the heartland of America and from my heart as well. Nice to see you here. We appreciate all of you being here, and we've got some good stuff for you today. And we're ready to rock and roll today. Can you really sell your soul to the devil? Can you really sell your soul to the devil, ladies and gentlemen? That's what we're here to talk about today, and it's going to be some interesting stuff. Ryan has the day off, so he gets to watch some podcast excellence today. We're very, very happy about that. So we're going to go ahead and check this out. We're going to talk about this, and of course, we are always brought to you by the great people at Mystech, and really that's Halo and a few other people that work with him, but it is the most powerful stuff in my life. It puts me at the Schumann resonance. It keeps my cells in harmony instead of chaos. It takes care of my subtle body, S-U-B-T-L-E, look that up if you don't know what it is. Takes care of my blood, keeps me off of EMF. And now I'm not going to get cancer either because I got the anti-cancer necklace. And yeah, I'm serious. And it's great stuff. Go to jeffreydaugherty.com, click on the Mystech logo, and you get a full 20% off when and only when you go through our website. So make sure you take advantage of it. Lots of you are. It's great stuff. So let's talk about the whole idea of selling your soul to the devil. And what we really want to think about is, can you really sell your soul to the devil? Where does the idea come from? How does it work? And what's really going on? So let's take a look at it. And to really take a look at it, you have to go through the lore. And there is lore having to do with selling your soul to the devil. And in the background here, you see an actual written contract that is from antiquity of somebody allegedly selling their soul to the devil. And a deal with the devil is a cultural motif in European folklore. It's in folklore, and that's the first thing that we need to keep an eye on. Thank you, Lindsay. Nice to see you. It's best exemplified by the legend of Faust. We'll talk about that. And the figure of Mephistopheles. We'll talk about that, as well as being elemental to many Christian traditions. And we'll talk about that because it's very, very important. And you have to understand what folklore is. Folklore is the traditional beliefs and customs and stories of a community that pass through generations, usually by word of mouth. So folklore is the hand-me-down traditions, the hand-me-down suspicions, the hand-me-down stories and creations. But there is some valid material that does pass down in this way. So I'm not trying to completely disregard that, but I just want you to understand that this whole idea of selling your soul to the devil is a folklore-based and a Christian-based idea. And we are going to examine it today. Now, who is Faust? Because it's based on the Faustian legend. Well, let's talk a little bit about who Faust is/was. Faust is also known in English. That's a German name. Faust is also known as John Faustus instead of Johann Faust. And he was a German itinerant alchemist, astrologer, and magician. He sounds like a neat guy. I mean, who is an itinerant? Itinerant means you go around and around and around. Like I used to be an evangelist, and I was an itinerant evangelist. You go to this church for a couple of weeks, that church, that. It's an interesting life, and I love it. I really did love it. But this guy was an itinerant alchemist. Wow. An itinerant astrologer and magician. So he had some skills. And you know he was a very, very interesting guy. And for the year 1506, there is a record of a Faust appearing as a performer of magical tricks and horoscopes in Gelnhausen. It's a city in Germany. And over the next 30 years, There's numerous similar records spread over southern Germany or Bavaria. Faust appeared as a physician, doctor of philosophy, alchemist, magician, astrologer, and was often accused as being a fraud. Now, can we talk about that for a moment? Coming from a guy who is often accused of being a fraud. Sometimes people that are accused of being frauds are frauds. And as Tracy says, that means he gets run out of town. That happens. That happens. And sometimes they are not frauds. They are just cutting edge. They are paradigm crashers. They are box smashers. And they take people outside the comfortable. They take people outside the normative. They take people outside the church as usual, life as usual. This is the way we've always done it kind of existence. And I think we need those kind of people. And the kind of people that aren't those kind of people are always going to call us kind of people frauds. So we got to get used to it. But it's like water off a duck's back. As Tracy says, very well stated, these type of people are contrarians. And I'm a happy contrarian. Sometimes a pissed off contrarian, because you got to be. There's things that are worth getting pissed off about. And let me just say it again. If you want to know what's going on with this DOSOM WIST thing and with the conspiracy on it, you need to be checking out Young Pharaoh's channel. That brother is breaking it down. He is pulling no punches. He's connecting dots. Fauci, Gates, Epstein, saying that Donald Trump ain't involved. Trump's the only one. He's bringing some good stuff. So make sure you go over to the Young Pharaoh channel and check out what's going on there. It's very, very interesting. So let's get through this. Let's talk about this, because there's not really get through it. This is really interesting stuff. So the church, of course, denounced Faust as a blasphemer who was in league with the devil. And isn't that funny? Anybody that goes against the dominant paradigm is automatically a blasphemer and is automatically in league with the devil. You can go to channels right now that say that I'm a blasphemer. And to be fair, according to their definition, I am. I got a PhD in blasphemy, multiple PhDs. And I'm working on another one. Am I in league with the devil? Well, the word devil in their scriptures, they don't know this, or they won't tell you. It just means adversary. So am I a devil? Yeah, I'm an adversary. I'm against the fear and guilt, blood, magic, mind control matrix that is Christianity, the mass media, and the ass media on YouTube that's spouting all this bullshit 24/7, 365. You know, a certain former nemesis of mine is so far back into the Jesus juice, I don't even got to worry about his silly ass anymore. And I'm glad about that, because I was responsible for part of it, but I am not responsible anymore. So let's go on and talk about Faust. He allegedly died in an explosion of an alchemical experiment at the Hotel zum Löwen, which means the lion. And isn't that interesting? I remember I thought of Jack Parsons when I read about Faust being blown up in an alchemical experiment, because Jack Parsons was blown up in an alchemical experiment as well. Isn't that interesting? Isn't that interesting? So let's move on. Now, they talked about Faust being the source of sell your soul to the devil. They talked about Mephistopheles being source of sell your soul to the devil. And even though a lot of you are very educated, probably a lot of you have not heard of Mephistopheles. And if you're a visitor, you almost assuredly have not heard of Mephistopheles. Now, Mephistopheles is a demon featured in German folklore. He originally appeared in literature as the demon in the Faust legend, and has since appeared in other works as a stock character. Mephistopheles is associated with the Faust legend of an ambitious scholar and based on the historical Johann Georg Faust. And in the legend, Faust makes a deal with the devil, selling his soul And Mephistopheles acts as the devil's agent. If you've ever watched the supernatural television show, when someone goes to the crossroad and they bury the box with what's it got their ID in it, it's got I don't know, some chicken. There's things that got to be in the box, and I should know, but I don't. But they bury the box and demon shows up. That's not the devil. That would be the equivalent of Mephistopheles, the interim demon that negotiates the deal. Because the devil ain't got time to take every damn body's soul. Devil got shit to do. Devil busy. The devil is busy. So the devil got bitches working for him. Have you noticed lately, like the word of the month is bitches? I don't know. I'm just having fun saying it. So, according to traditional Christian belief about witchcraft, very strong sentence right there. You got to learn to tune into these things. According to traditional Christian belief, sell your soul, traditional Christian belief, witchcraft, the pact is between a person and Satan or a lesser demon negotiating. And if they really were as hot as they are on Supernatural and you really get to do the nasty with them, I know they just show them kissing, but I think it's more. Then I can see, well, anyway, we'll go past that because it's not real and it's not worth it. The pact is between Satan and a lesser demon. The person offers their soul in exchange for diabolical favors. And those favors vary by the tale, but tend to include youth, knowledge, wealth, fame, power. Who else promises you? I get ahead of myself, but who else promise you youth, long life, eternal life, knowledge? Who else promises you that in exchange for your soul? Keep that in the back of your mind as we move on through another edition of Podcast Excelente. Boom. All right. The lore. The tales, and here's another clue. The tales always have a moralizing end. And the end is eternal damnation for the one that's foolish enough to make a deal with Mephistopheles. Keep that in mind as we move on through this podcast excellence. Great achievement might also be credited to a pact with the devil. Big key. From the numerous European devil's bridges, super cool, we'll talk about them, to the violin virtuosity, say that 5 times fast, of Giuseppe Tartini and Niccolò Paganini, to the crossroad myth associated with allegedly one of the greatest guitarists of all times, Robert Johnson. Now, what are devil's bridges? These are cool. Didn't really know about these until I started the study on this podcast. It's a term applied to dozens of ancient bridges who's found primarily in Europe. And most of these bridges are like, holy shit, how did they build a bridge here? And why the F did they even try? It's like, damn, they built a bridge here? Whoa, it's those kind of bridges. And most of these bridges are stone, they're masonry arch bridges, and they represent a technological jump in technology. And due to their unusual design, a lot of them are an object of fascination and stories. I looked at them. If you want to have some fun, you got nothing to do, and you don't, after this show, go into your favorite search engine and look up Devil's Bridges, and you will see some damn bridges, cousin. Let me tell you, it's some crazy shit. Like this one behind, you can't really see it, but it's a nice little slide. A Devil's Bridge typically has got a devil-related story with it, or a folk tale. Remember, we talked about what folk tales are. And the stories vary widely depending upon the region and the beliefs. Some say the devil built the bridge, and that relates to the kind of impossibility of such a bridge being built or existing in the first place, so much that only the devil himself could have built it. Why aren't they called God bridges then? Oh, that's right, because God don't never show up to help nobody, because he ain't real. Jeff, are you saying the devil's real and God's not? I'm just saying that God don't ever show up to help nobody, but the devil does. Interesting. Interesting. Only the devil could have built it. They're so amazing. Others have the knowledge to build such a bridge given to them as a gift from the devil as part of a deal, pact, or bargain. Usually, again, in exchange for their souls. And this reflects the fact that frequently, such as in the case of the Teufelsbrücke at the St. Gothard Pass, these bridges were built under such challenging conditions that successful completion of the bridge required a heroic effort on the part of the builders and the community, ensuring its legendary status. I still think it's interesting. It's so hard to do. Only God could have done it. No, it's so hard to do. Only the devil could have built that bitch. It's funny how even people seem to understand that the devil's stronger than God. And remember, the devil is just the adversary. Who's the adversary of the fear and guilt control matrix? Us. We're the devil. We're the bitches that built the bridges. And we deserve the praise and not the Christian devil typology. But I get ahead of myself. That's not what we're talking about. And this is interesting here. At Sens, a 13th century legend tells of the architect who sold his soul to the devil. Here's the key, folks. People that do remarkable things, people that do exceptional things, people that do amazing things, people that do things that leap over traditional bounds and mores, people that do shit that nobody even thought of. Instead of patting him on the back and saying, damn, son, great work. Instead of patting him on the back and saying, damn, sweetheart, great work. Instead of saying, wow, you did some great shit there. Let us learn it. I want to learn to do good shit like that. No, oh, you're in league with Lucifer. See how it works? The sheep are always trying to keep the rams down. The sheep are always trying to say, you look stupid with those horns. Keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. So this guy built the bridge, drove the devil away with an exorcism formula. And this doesn't mean anything. It's just a little bit of Latin. Don't worry about it. Vede retro satana. And that formula, even today, many of you who might be wearing a St. Benedict medal, it's on the St. Benedict medal. Isn't that interesting? Isn't that interesting? Somebody talks about the devil went down to Georgia and he was looking for a soul to steal. He was way behind. He was in a bind. He was willing to make a deal. But anyway, we'll get to that later. What about Giuseppe Tartini? Again, great composer of the violin in the 10th, 15th, 16th, 17th, 18th century, who was denounced. He was denounced. Why? Because he did shit different. Because he did shit better. But he was denounced as one who got his inspiration from the evil one, with whom he was, it was said, in regular league. This accusation was, of course, due to the almost magical impression he produced upon his audiences. See, when you can do shit better than any that shit's ever been done, and you can do shit that's ever been done, or ever been thought about being done, ooh, man, you're exceptional. You're a ram. We don't want no rams. We want sheep. So you got to be lined up with the devil. The Sonato do Diable, and I like that, the sonnet to the devil. I liked that he was poking him back. Giuseppe says, all right, bitches, you think I work for the devil? Here we go. The Sonate do Diable. You ready? Tartini's Dream. If you've ever heard it, and I listened to it, and wow, it's the most weird melody you've ever heard, and some say the most weird melody ever invented. Hence, the marvelous composition has become the source of endless legends. People that excel get exterminated. People that are exceptional get knocked back into line. Rams are castigated. Rams are ostracized by sheep. Remember that. From one ram to another, don't listen to them sheep. Tartini confessed to having written his song, Sonate du Diable, on awakening from a dream. And in the dream, he heard the sonata performed by Satan for his benefit and in consequence of a bargain made with the alleged infernal majesty. That's just a really cool dude poking some bitches with sticks. That's what that is. I like it. That's sarcasm. I like it. That's in your face. Come and get it, bitches. I love that guy. Giuseppe Tartini. Now, what about Niccolo Paganini? Their names are so fun to say. Tartini, Paganini. I like it. Paganini was called the devil's violinist. Who was the devil's pianist? Anyway, he was born October 27, 1782, Genoa, Italy. I've been there. It's said that Paganini's mother had her heart set on him becoming a famous violinist. And from this, a rumor arose that she had made a deal with the devil, trading her son's soul for the chance to be the greatest in history. Can you trade somebody's soul? Can you trade somebody's soul? Well, wait a second. If you're Roman Catholic and some of the Roman Protestants, you can baptize a baby. Isn't that selling their soul to... Oh, shit. I didn't think about that. And if you sold your infant soul to the church and he grows up and gets buggered by a priest, whose fault is it? Well, you know whose fault it is, but are you complicit? Ooh, Jeff, don't be saying shit like that. It's too close to home. Makes a bitch think. Well, maybe a bitch needs to get a little uncomfortable and start realizing what a bitch does. At the age of 15, what was I doing at the age of 15? Playing baseball, playing football, chasing girls, shooting people with BB guns from across the street of a restaurant, silly shit like that. And you can't hit nobody from across the damn street with a BB gun, but it's fun to try. At the age of 15, Paganini began playing solo violin tours. Paganini went hard, bro. He's 15. Remember? 15. 15 years old. And I know it's not funny, but damn, he's 15. Goes on tour. By the time he was 16, he had a breakdown, succumbed to alcoholism. He's living Mick Jagger style on the road, 15 years old. Oh, that part of me is like, damn. A high five right up here, bro. It's part of you is like, damn, son, that's good work. 15. Besides supposedly being in league with the devil, throughout his lifetime, he was known as a heavy gambler, drinker, and a shameless womanizer. At 16 years of 15, you got to give some grudging respect to a 15-year-old who's known as a heavy gambler. You got to give some respect to a 15-year-old that's known as a heavy drinker, and you got to give some respect to a 15-year-old known as a shameless womanizer. Part of me just wants to say right here, bro, and part of me is like, oh, man, that's sad. But anyway, and the times was different then, you know. He recovered after a stint as the court violinist for Princess Elisa Berriocchi, who just happened to be Napoleon's sister. Wow. And you know he was tapping that up one side and down the other, but that's not what we're talking about here. He's with Napoleon's sister. Wow. This dude rolled hard. And then he once again started touring Europe. Oh boy, this is great stuff. And I don't know, man. It just blows my mind sometimes, the things that people do. And I wonder if it was a genius or that caused Buckminster Fuller to discover the C60 purple power molecule that is the fountain of youth, that is the greatest antioxidant, that'll make you 10 feet tall and bulletproof. And Cliff High says it's the reason he's still alive. Well, if you need a little of this for that which you got, go to c60purplepower.com, use the code TCW10, and get something that works so good you'll think you sold your soul to the devil just to get some of it, but you didn't. So don't worry. Don't worry. It's going to be all right. Now let's get to this one. Robert Johnson and the Crossroad Demon. Now here's the thing where a brother gets in trouble just because nobody knows much about him. Johnson's poorly documented life and death had given rise to much legends. People are going to talk shit about him when they don't know not shit about him. Well, that's the way people are. And it's said that he sold his soul to the devil at a local crossroads to achieve musical success. Maybe he was just better than everybody else. Maybe he just practiced more than everybody else. Maybe he just worked harder than anybody else. Maybe he just played some shit that everybody else was afraid to play. Maybe he was just flat better than everybody else. And that's another one of the reasons why people attack you, because you're better than everybody else. I know how the brother feels because I'm the best in the world at what I do. I'm le champion of biblical revelation, biblical interpretation, spiritual revelation. I'm the best in the world at everything except saying that. And now he's recognized as a master of the blues, recognized as inventing the Delta blues style. And I believe it was Eric Clapton who said he was in the top 10 best guitarists in history. And I guarantee you he didn't have a damn very good guitar. Then he could still make that sound come out of it. He was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in his first induction ceremony in 1986 as an early influence on rock and roll. And he was awarded a posthumous Grammy Award in 1991 for his single, wait for it, Crossroad Blues. Good job, bro, putting it right back in their face. I love it. I love it. Very, very interesting stuff. Very, very powerful stuff. And finishing up the lore, and this is obviously supposed to represent Mr. Johnson. Was his name Johnson? You doesn't have to call me Johnson, but you can because that's my name in this case. The lore, Crossroad Demons. Now, I don't want you guys going out to Crossroads when this is over because it's a bad idea. And you don't have to. You can make your own crossroads. In folk magic and mythology, crossroads, listen to this, put this together, and you'll be like, oh, damn, I get it. Crossroads represent a location between the worlds. And as such, it's a site where supernatural spirits can be contracted and paranormal events can take place. It's like a mediator between heaven and earth. Where have we heard that before? A go-between between heaven and earth, between man and men. Symbolically, it can be a locality where two realms touch and therefore represents subliminally a place literally neither here nor there, but betwixt and between. Where have you heard that before? And the Lord says you can meet a demon at the crossroads and you can sell your shit and they'll give you some shit. That's the way the Lord goes. But let's think about this a little more deeply. Let's think about this a little more deeply. Why is selling your soul a largely Christian tradition? Why does selling your soul rear its head so often in Christian lore? Why are Christians always talking about it? You get on YouTube and you got these prophets saying, oh, this person sold their soul and that person sold their soul and this person and that person. And they're always Christians talking about that. It's really interesting to me. And it occurred to me that the sell your soul lore just happens to support the perpetuation, the creation, the continuation, the empowerment of the fear and guilt, blood magic, mind control, matrix. Think about it. Don't get go off half-cocked. Don't have a knee-jerk reaction. Actually think about it. Try to do something that you never do. Forget what you believe. Get outside of your beliefs, which has a lie in the middle of it, and try to get empirical. Because once you start believing, you're through learning. It's over because you know it all. And you don't. I don't care who you are. I guarantee you, if you're listening to me right now, you don't know it all. Because I studied a lot more than you, and I still don't know it all yet. Hard for you to believe. I hope I didn't crush anybody. Don't cry. Please don't cry. But I really don't know it all, but I'm trying. I'm trying. So how does the Sell Your Soul lore support, perpetuate, create, maintain, empower the fear, guilt, control matrix? Well, think about it. It calls the rams from the sheep. No original, outside the paradigm, outside the box thinking is allowed. Because if you do it, we're going to accuse you of being from the devil. And if you're starting to get some crazy ideas, you know they're from the devil. So stop it. Be a good sheep. Stop being a ram. Be a good sheep. Stay within the confines of the corral. Because the Paganinis and I forgot the other guy's name, and the Johnsons, they don't stay in the corral. They go outside the corral. And by equating exceptional talent, by equating exceptional ability, and by equating exceptional ideas, and by equating nonconformist ideas with the devil, that's a great way to cast suspicion on the exceptional person. It's a great way to cause ostracism of the exceptional person. And it can, in a weaker mind, even cause self-ostracization. Oh, I got a great idea, but it's outside the accepted realm, so it must be from the devil, so I better shut my mouth. Oh, I got a great revelation. How can this? Oh, wait a minute. It's against what they say. It must be from the devil. Oh, I know that this can't possibly be true, but it's in the AHAK, the B-BLE. So what I'm thinking must be from the devil. I must not have any faith. The Sell Your Soul lore supports the fear and guilt, blood magic, mind control matrix by keeping the flock peaceful. No exceptional people means that others won't aspire to be exceptional either, especially if they see the treatment that a person that is exceptional gets and it's not good. Then it makes people say, oh, well, I'm afraid. I can't be exceptional. I better stay in line. I better remember my place. And the Sell Your Soul lore also supports the fear and guilt, mind control, blood magic matrix by making people fear their own exceptionalism. If you all of a sudden think that you're finding something that nobody's thought of before, if you all of a sudden understand that you're realizing things that other people don't realize, you're seeing truths that other people don't see, you might be under some focused life force energy. You might have just turned it on and you're not used to it yet. Or you might be getting some great information and you might be manifesting some exceptionalism. And a great way to make sure you do manifest your exceptionalism is to get the focused life force energy. Go to jeffreydaugherty.com, click on the fluffy logo. They have free trials, or just buy it. It's $35. It's good for you. It'll change your life. But they make you fear your own exceptionalism. But if you're in a high consciousness environment, you'll say, get that con out of my face. Let me embrace what is me and mine. And if we can equate exceptional talent, if we can equate exceptional ideas with infernal anointing, then we can get the exceptional to be less so and maybe stop them completely. Jeff's a blasphemer. Jeff is a devil. That just gets me revved up. That's like foreplay. Ooh, say it again. Oh, yeah, say it again. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. So keep doing it. Turns me on. This fear and guilt helps retard individual achievement. It helps retard excellence, and it prevents excellence and achievement and new ideas from being revered and attempts to duplicate it from being attempted, because it keeps everybody retarded. Christianity is retarded, and it's for retarded people. Retarded, you have retarded divinity, retarded sovereignty, retarded freedom, retarded thinking, retarded exceptionalism. Just retarded. And it keeps everybody feeling guilty. Either guilty for being exceptional, or guilty for wanting to be exceptional, or being guilty because you're not exceptional. Bottom line is, Christianity wants sheep, not rams. Ooh, think of this right here. Remember the story of Abraham and it was Isaac, right? He's taken Isaac. He's going to sacrifice his son, which they did all the time. No big deal. I'm going to do a special presentation next month. I think on the May 10th, I think it is. We're going to do a seminar, a 3-hour seminar. By I mean me right now is all. And we're going to do it. It's going to be called Spirit Cooking and Black Magic in the Church. And we're going to talk about all of this stuff. So killing your son, that was nothing new, nothing unusual. But anyway, Isaac's like, well, Dad, where's the lamb? Because you kill sheep a lot of times, but this was a special sacrifice. And Abram's like, hey, that's all right. The rat bastard will provide a lamb. Well, the rat bastard will provide a lamb, but a lamb is easy. It's easy to sacrifice a lamb. It's easy to sacrifice a sheep. It don't take nothing to sacrifice a lamb or a sheep. And it's no great accomplishment to sacrifice a lamb or a sheep, because they're a lamb or a sheep. That's what they're there for. They signed up for it. But when you can sacrifice a ram, now that's something unusual. And what was it that got caught in the bush that Abraham saw and went to sacrifice instead of Isaac? It was a ram. A ram that got caught in the bush. That's why you got to get the hell out of Christianity, rams. That's why you got to get the hell out of church, rams. And you got to get the hell out of anything that even resembles church. If they talk about crosses, get your ram ass out of there before they sacrifice you. If they talk about Jesus, get your ram ass out of there before they sacrifice you. If they talk about the Christ, get your ram ass out of there before they sacrifice you. If they talk about the Bible and the red letters and the Word of God and sanctification and atonement and salvation and bless the Father, oh, praise Jesus, get your ram ass out of there before they sacrifice you, because they will, or either you will. You cannot stay a ram for long if you're hanging out with a bunch of sheep. Well, unless you're going to hit them sheep and then run, well, get it done and get out, son. Daughter, metaphorically. You know what I'm talking about. But Jeff, I just watch them because they're... No, don't do it. They're going to emasculate you. They're going to sacrifice you. Religious leaders, whether they're popes or priests or pastors or preachers or YouTube gurus, they don't want rams. They want sheep. They want people to follow them and tell them how great they are and send them money and do what they say. It's just that simple. That's the reality, folks. That's the reality. Check this out. Maybe one of the reasons why Christianity pushes this sell your soul lore and motif so much is because wakey, wakey, eggs and bakey. Christianity wants you to sell your soul to Jesus. Oh, it's horrible to sell your soul to the devil. And yet, Christianity wants you, no, requires you to sell your soul to plastic Jesus, HERU, DISTU. They require it. And it's the exact same transaction. You give your soul, and he gives you eternal life. Except you got to read the fine print. And you guys never read the fine print. You never read the fine print. They don't want you to read the fine print. But I'm going to read you the fine print. And if you've ever done this, you got to undo it. And if you're thinking about doing this, don't. Because if you sell your soul to Jesus, and that's what you're doing when you get saved, you're selling your soul to Jesus. If you sell your soul to HERU, DISTU, and I'm saying the name today for impact because there's some people that are watching that are Christians. Watch what you're doing. You got to read the fine print, and you've never read the fine print. I'm going to show you the fine print right now. Are you ready? Here's the fine print. It's in Romans chapter 8. And I'm going to make a statement. The devil gives a better deal than Jesus. Dracula gives a better deal than Jesus. Give me some King James right up here for a minute. Here it is. Here it is. Here's your deal. Here's the deal that you guys signed. I gave him my soul. He gives me eternal life. Yay! You didn't read the contract, did you? No, you didn't. Because if you did, you wouldn't be so happy. Here's the contract. The contract says that you give him your soul and then you get eternal life. But what you didn't read was what kind of eternal life you get. I'm fixing to read it to you right here. But if the spirit of him that raised up Jesus from the dead dwell in you, my Father and I stand at the door and knock. If anybody opens up the door and invites us to come in, you got to invite Dracula. You got to invite all the other vampires, all the bad people. I even watched Hannibal the other night. And the first time you see Hannibal, he goes up to Will Graham's hotel room and he says, "May I come in?" Will had to invite him in because he's a bad guy. Anybody you got to invite in, anybody that stands at the door and knock, bad guy. Jesus, bad guy. He's standing at the door and knock. His father's with him, bad guys. So if you welcome in Dracula Jesus, if you welcome vampire father, then you've got their spirit in you. That's called possession. Anywhere but church, it's called possession. And can I tell you something? Even in church, it's possession. You're possessed. You're possessed. You're possessed with multiple entities. And if they dwell in you, they told you they'd give you eternal life. They are, but not like you think, because you didn't read the fine print. I'm telling you the fine print. He that raised Christ up from the dead will also quicken. See, I get to live. He'll also quicken your mortal body by the Spirit. Yay, I get to live. You didn't read the contract. Here's how you read the contract. You read the fine print. Jeff, what do you mean? Well, here's what I mean. He will also give life. Jeff, look, it says he'll make alive. He's going to make alive. That which is dead, he'll make it alive. Yay! I'm alive again from the dead, just like he said. I made a good deal. Read the whole contract. He will also give life to what? Your mortal. What's mortal? That which is subject to death. That which is mortality, and that which has an inevitability of moral death, of physical death. And he'll give, what is it? It's your body, the flesh. He is promising to raise your mortal, you're subject to death, flesh, the physical body. He's promised to raise that. The same body that gets sick and gets hurt and gets diseased and rots and dies. He's raising that body. And he raises it over and over and over and over. And he eats you over and over and over, and not in a good way, until he's drained you dry. And then he resurrects you again. You didn't read the fine print, because that's the deal that you got from Jesus. That's the deal you got from the Father. That's the deal you got from the Son. That's the deal you gave up your divinity, your sovereignty, and your freedom for. And you didn't even get to be famous. It's a quid pro quo claris arrangement, just like the devil's arrangements, although arguably the devil gives a better deal. Is this why Christianity keeps the sell your soul lore alive? Because, oh my God, I better sell my soul to Jesus or I'll wind up selling it to the devil. You're better off selling it to the devil. You only have to give him one lifetime. Jesus, he's going to raise you again and 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 again. Who's really the evil one? Who's really the crossroads demon? The demon treats you better than Jesus. This is just straight truth. I read it to you from your own book. Read it to you from your own book, ladies and gentlemen. Read it to you from your own book. Right from your own book. Right from your own book. Jesus really is the ultimate crossroad demon. He's the ultimate crossroad. He's on a perpetual cross. If you're a Roman Catholic, you still got the dead guy on the stick. If you're Roman Protestant, you just got the crossroads. But the demon's still there. He runs the show. The spirit is in the place. Oh, I feel the spirit. Yeah, you do. It just ain't the one you think you feel. Jesus is the crossroads. And think about it. Jesus is the undisputed heavyweight champion of the world, unchallenged in numbers of souls purchased and harvested. Here he is, HERU, DISTU, plastic, Jesus, fighting out of the red corner because it's bloody. By any objective standard, Jesus is a soul-snatching demon. By any objective standard, Jesus is a soul-snatching demon. He's the worst of the demons. Jesus is the biggest demon ever, if he was real. But of course, anyway. McJesus. Billions and billions served. Billions and billions served up. Billions and billions consumed. So the question really becomes, can you actually sell your soul to the devil? Can you actually sell your soul to Jesus. Can you just imagine little ketchup running down from those wounds? If you stabbed him in the side, would it come out chocolate milkshake? Or would you have a caramel sundae come running out? Oh, that comes running out of his shorts. I told you I had a PhD in blasphemy, multiple ones. Can you really sell your soul to the devil? Yes and no. Can you really sell your soul to McJesus? Yes and no. Who was it that said this? I think it was Zig Ziglar. Might have been Tom Hopkins. But they said, what? Oh, no, it was W. Clement Stone, the man. I loved W. He was a man too, but it was Napoleon Hill, the man among men. He said, what the mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve. So if you think that you can sell your soul to a devil and get famous from it, then you can. Doesn't matter if it really happens. You think it happened. If in your mind you can conceive of a devil that you could sell your soul to become famous, and if you can believe it, you can achieve the manifestation of a devil, probably not even a real devil. And you give and you say, oh, and that fuels your will, your intention, your purpose, and you get it done. But some bitch ass astral piece of shit makes you think it was him or her. And then when you die, it's quid pro quo, Clarice, when they didn't even really give you anything. It's the same thing with McJesus. That bitch ain't giving you shit. He's not even giving you a damn cheeseburger or any fries. He's giving you nothing. He's taken your soul, your will, your intention, your life essence, and he's eating it again and again and again and again. You're his happy meal. And the person that is the meal don't get happy, just the person that eats it. He's eating your happy meal. And you get nothing. But the chance to come back and be another happy meal. So can you really sell your soul to the devil? No. Well, yes, you can, but here's the key. You can get it back. It doesn't mean you're not going to pay some interest, some penalties, some fees, some fines, but if you gave your soul to a devil, you sold your soul to a devil, you can unsell your soul to a devil. That's the big secret. I don't care if you sold your soul to somebody that said they were Satan themselves, you can get it back. Doesn't mean that you're going to not have to pay any live out the causality of what you did, but you can stop it. You can take your eternal essence back. I know I pledged it to you, but here right now with my mouth, I unpledge it. I take it back. The deal is null and void. You still going to have to deal with the shit you started, but you got your essence back and it'll be okay. Same thing with McJesus. Look, I know I made me your happy meal. And I know I said you could eat me and not in a good way, but now I'm saying eat me. I want my soul back. I am not your happy meal. I renounce the salvation prayer. I don't believe in you. I don't believe you raised from the dead. I take back my soul. I'm not washing your blood. You're a lie, and I'm taking my sovereignty, my divinity, and my freedom back, bitch. And it's important that you add the bitch. It's really not, but it's fun. Make you feel good. And you can take it back. You can take it back. There still might be some shit for you to pay because you start shit in motion, and just because you take it back, the shit that was in motion, shit that's in motion tends to stay in motion till it runs out of inertia. And it will eventually. Oh, but Jeff, I took my soul back and things didn't get better right away. That's magic McJesus that says, poof, the amazing Jesus, poof, everything's better. No, it's not. Not even in his economy. So can you sell your soul? Yes and no. Yes, you can. I think because you think you can and you create a scenario to allow it, but you still need to undo that energetically. And if you sold your soul to be a bun in a roll for this bitch right here, you got to take that back too. And it might be a little bit to pay, but aren't you tired of being this bitch's happy meal? Aren't you tired of being some clown's happy meal? Aren't you tired of being some clown's number 3? Aren't you tired of being some clown's number 7 supersized? Aren't you tired of being some clown's fresh fries? Give me fresh fries with that. If you've ever worked in a fast food place, you hate those bitches that ask for fresh fries. And then they want to complain, why does it take us long? Because you just asked for fresh fries, motherfucker. It takes a while. I want fresh food. Well, then you better wait a minute, bitch. But they don't. They bitch and bitch and bitch. Anyway, I'm sorry. Sorry, it's a little relapse there. Really, from my son who managed the McDonald's, he's like, oh, these motherfuckers. Anyway. Billions and billions served. Are you one? Will you be next? It's up to you. The mail has been delivered. You're going to open it. You're going to read it. What you going to do with it? What you going to do now that the mail has been delivered to you? I'm just the mailman. My work is done. I'm down to the next box, delivering the next mail. What you do with it from here on out is up to you. And I don't have any emotional attachment. I wish you the best, but I'm not going to lose sleep over it. Let's go into the chat room with those words of encouragement. Woo! Here we go. Are we here at the Crossroads, cousin? We don't do Crossroads here. We don't do Crossroads here. I know everything in my subconscious. Bring it all to the surface as another. Well, do it. I am not a believer. You must understand the fear and guilt part of the matrix in order to see that Jeff is speaking 100% truth. Thank you, AHAK. And we're going to get AHAK on the channel. I just got to call him up. I'm bad on the phone, man. I don't like to call people on the phone, but I will. I will. I don't know, Sherry. Maybe yes, maybe no. I think a lot of evil's done just because it's fun. A lot of evil's done out of arrogance, pride, power, psychopathy, sociopathy. This makes a victim out of the bitches that are just plain bitches. There's just some people that are just plain old pieces of shit, and there's no excuse for them. And there are some that you're right about, Christy, but I say, I don't know. I don't know. No. I don't know. In sorte diaboli. The only god or goddess you need is the one looking back at you in the mirror. Bam! Great stuff. Tracy's laughing so hard she's crying about something. Don't know what it was, but it was good. There is no good or evil. Something becomes good or evil by your perception. Yes and no. Yes and no. Energetically, Deb University's right. Energetically. Because energy is just energy. There's no bad energy. There's no good energy. But when you got an evil son of a bitch trying to get people to go out in the desert and kill themselves with them, that's evil. His intention, his human bitchiness is evil. That evil attaches to the energy. But when that worthless piece of shit projects energy at me, I see it coming. I take the bitch off of it, the bitch energy off of it, and I just use the energy and make myself stronger. So there is evil. Bitches can be evil. Men can be evil. Women can be evil. The energy they project, it's just a carrier wave, but it carries some bitch on it, and you got to knock the bitch off of it before you can use it, or it'll infect you. So yes and no, Deb, on that. Yes and no. Thanks for the comment. There are entities that tweak you in moments of doubt. We call them the devil. Yeah, you're mostly right. Mostly right. There are some devils out there. There are some tulpe. There are some entities, but mostly it's just the devil you deal with the most is the one that you look at in the mirror. In the mirror. Absolutely. 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 I've never been worried about my health. Bought the C60. Good. You're going to feel 10 feet tall and bulletproof. And that girl better be careful because you're going to be revved up, Ryan, if you know what I'm saying. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge, hint, hint. Cousin, it gets you rocking and rolling. Almost as good as the rocket. Almost as good as the rocket. But the rocket, y'all got to do it. You got to go to getmyrocket.com/CWB. And you'll do a good deed for yourself and a good deed for humanity. Trust me. Trust me. So it might be good to stab someone. What the hell are you talking about, Sherry? What the hell are you talking about? Get that bullshit out of my face. Don't be stupid in here. Take that dumb shit somewhere else. That's stupid. That's just a dumb statement. Oh, now we're getting to the heart of it, being exceptional. It does explain so much, doesn't it? Boom. It really does. It really does. I'd rather be a male ram than a little lamb. Ooh, Christina, right up here. Boom. That's some good shit right there. I love it. I love it. Giving you another chance. Haven't been here in months. Well, I'm glad you're back, but I don't give a shit if you stay or not, to be frank with you. If you like the truth, and you like being challenged, you'll stay. If you don't, well, I'm sorry. That's just the way it is. Give me a chance. Look, I do what I do. It ain't got shit to do with you. I do what I do. And we bring the damn mail. Whether you like mail or not, I'm still going to bring it as long as you're here. As long as you're here. Lamb is not high enough price. I'm not sure what you mean by that one, Harry, but I'm sure I just missed it. The devil looks like Bill Gates. Let's see. Wash your hands. Where'd that come from? Little comic relief is always accepted. Jeff is so smart, I have to take notes. Well, Lily, this shit right here, trying to be honest and not exaggerate, this took me about 3.5 hours to put this together. So it's not that I'm smart, it's just I did a lot of work. Maybe if I was smarter, I wouldn't have to do so much work. But you should take notes. And the cool thing about it is you can watch this shit again. You can watch this stuff again. Here's another random. I do organic veggies. Squirrel. Cool. Glad you do. Glad you do. It's very dangerous for a lion to be shepherd over a sheep. Well, what's a shepherd's favorite meal, Omo? Sheep. I told you what a shepherd does. A shepherd shears a sheep and makes profit off it as long as he can. When he can't make any more profit from that sheep, he kills it and eats it. And you want to be the sheep of his pasture. You want a shepherd. You're a special kind of special, aren't you? You're a special kind of special, aren't you? Sheeple are sheeple. Abso-damn-lutely. Abso-damn-lutely. Man, there's some crazy squirrel runs in here. It's funny, though. Brenda, nice to see you. Christianity makes you mentally ill. Does Christianity make you mentally ill, or do you have to be mentally ill to embrace Christianity? Which came first, the chicken or the cracked egg? I don't know. Christianity will make you mentally ill, but it seems like you got to be mentally ill to embrace it in any real depth. In any real depth. I can totally see Jesus looking like that pig demon from the new Hellboy movie. Didn't see that one. He's just another powerful spirit to keep you recycled here in a meat suit. I'd say yes and no. I think he's a tulpa, and I guess it is a power. I'm with you, Harry. I'll say yes. I'll say yes. Good, Omo. She has redeemed her soul from that bitch and his son. Good. Good. Proof in the pudding. You're judged by the fruits that you bear. Yeah, you know, most Christians are hypocrites, but if you find a perfect club, don't join it. You'll ruin it. I mean, we all have our days, right? We all have our days. We all have our times. Don't invite him across your threshold. Well said, Sherry, Cherry. Probably Sherry. Well said. Well said. Let's see. Possession. Whoa. Yeah, I said it. I didn't stutter. Did your ears flap? Because it was clear on this end. It's clear on this end. Let's see what else. What else? What else? What else? What else? Sell it to Jesus. Sell it to the devil. It all works out the same. Absolutely, Lionel. Exactly the same. So that means Jesus and the devil are the same kind of entity. And they are. And they are. Thank you, imaginary man. And it really is. We think we have indeed. It's all in the Bible. You're buying some bull. Tracy says, yep. And Tracy says, stay on point. Will do. Will do. Know you're saved. Saved from what? What are you saved from? That bitch wants to save you from the sin he gave you. That's bullshit. You ain't got no sin. You got nothing to be saved from. If you want to get saved, if you want to, I don't know how to work this, but if you want to save, go to fucking Costco. Oh, that's a good one, imaginary man. Oh, shit, that's really good. I got to write that down. Was he, what? It's just a story, but did they say he was at a crossroads? That's a really good one, imaginary man. I'll be checking that out. Oh, this is going to shake up a lot of people. That's what we're here for. That's what we're here for. But it's just the truth. It's just the truth. He is a soul snatcher. Billions of humans sold and reborn. Absolutely. Absolutely. No cheeseburger in paradise. I ain't going to be his cheeseburger in paradise because it's just his paradise. You just the burger. You just the burger. HERU the clown loves his Soylent Green. That's another great one, imaginary man. HERU the clown. Is that eye patch functional or is it just cool as shit? I had to ask. If only more people opened their eyes and came and listened. They will. They are. I know it's rough. It takes a minute. And hey, it is what it is, right? And by the way, more people than ever are listening. The listener numbers are way up. The subscriber numbers are creeping up. Creeping up. If you made a contract, open your eyes, tear it up, even if you do have to pay a fine. You won't pay it at the spot. I'm just talking about the energy. You'll have to pay for what you started because it's still going to be the stuff set in motion is set in motion, but it will run out. It will run out. Damn right, says GeoHawk. You can always take charge and take your soul back from fools. Absolutely, you can. You're one of my favorite light warriors. Thank you, Nikki. I don't know if I love that term, but I know you mean it in the best way possible. So thank you so very much. Jameis says, don't forget to subscribe. Thank you so much. Jeffrey, I think hell is having to face who you could be or could have been. Ooh, strong, powerful, powerful words. Lionel knows what I'm talking about with them fresh fries. It's worse when they ask for fresh food because that means you got to cook it and it takes time and they're all, yeah, where's my food? You said you wanted it fresh. Lionel's box is open. You can't change the way the world is. You can only change the way you react to it. And hurting people do hurt people. That's true. That's true. Unless there's just some evil son of a bitches that just do it because they like to do it. And nobody makes you feel anything. He makes me sad. He makes me mad. No, they do something that you choose to be sad or mad about. You're in charge of what you feel. You're in charge of what you feel. When you take your soul back, it actually cancels out what you did in the past. I don't think so. You'll have to show me proof on that one. And that's just, Annie, that's just wrong. And you can't do anything about it. And I know it might make you feel better, but what you did is what you did, and it's there. It ain't just going to magically go away. That's my understanding. But we could talk about this. I just don't see it that way. But it doesn't really matter. I get where you're going, but it doesn't really matter. I don't really matter. It doesn't really matter. Saw you on YP yesterday. Man, I can't stay away from there. He is putting down some shit, Tavon. I mean, he is really putting down some shit. He's connecting dots. It's just good stuff. You need to go over to, do you believe in or study astrology? Yes and no. Yes and no. Jesus is a scam. Hey, everybody. Great show. Hey, baby. She's out driving around somewhere. Get that corn out of my face. Let's see what else we got here. Take your time. No rush at all. You're doing one of the hardest jobs. Thank you. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. How do you explain haunted houses? I don't. Not today. Jeff's on a roll today. Thanks, Ashley. Appreciate it. Nag Hammadi scripture says, Nag Hammadi scriptures are fake. Don't worry about what they say. Cynthia, here she goes. She saw that one coming. That's funny. Oh, Tracy, right here. Boom, nag is crap. Get that cunt out of my face. I hate it when I get that. Are you going to rob a bank? I don't get that. It's out of context. Sometimes it's hard. Do you believe in a God? Yes and no. There are gods out there. Take your pick. I don't worship any of them. The day may come where I might work with one of them, some of them, maybe. But I am a God. I am divine. I am sovereign. I am free. Now, I think what you're really asking me is, do you believe in a creator? And the answer to that is yes. 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 Jeffrey, why are women so surprised in religions? Don't know what you mean by that, Nikki. It must not have come out the way you put it down. Let's see. I was born a vegetarian. I don't think you should ever have to kill anything to keep yourself alive. Me either, Nikki. I don't eat meat. By the way, Pharaoh don't eat meat neither, young Pharaoh. He's a elite athlete, and he doesn't eat meat. I'm working my way back to elite athlete status. I don't eat meat. Cynthia don't eat meat. Well, she doesn't eat meat. I didn't say that. Rewind that. Forget about that. Jeff asks a lot of questions and looks for answers and delivers his findings. This is exactly what I do. That's exactly what I do. Jeff, you're very strong. You challenged me many times. Thank you. I appreciate it, TT. So are you. Radnor Lockwood. All the Abrahamics make you mentally ill because they degrade the spirit. Boom. Absolutely. Abso-damn-lutely. How can someone actually look at their baby and think that she's a saint or a sinner? That started me down this road. That started me down at this road. I wanted to ask too. Thanks, Jeffrey. Ask what? Just kidding. Planet has no hope. I totally disagree with that. We got big hope. Things are going to be better than ever, sooner than you imagined. Definitely. Definitely. All right. Lots of comments in here today. So glad to hear it. Let's see. What else? Everyone behind me wants fresh, hot, crispy fries too. That's funny. Absolutely, Gio. But please feel free to subscribe. Please feel free to subscribe. I want no part of their food. Boom. Slap businesses post me. Is that what you meant? There you go. Cynthia says, shut up. Oh, is she talking to me? I think she is. I think she is. Let's see. We're gonna have Dr. Shiva too. Young Pharaoh's had Dr. Shiva on. We're talking. We're lining up a time for Dr. Shiva to come on. Let's see. Woke business is a booming. Absolutely. Well, yeah, and then Tracy comes in to throw water on that. She know what she means. Did Dr. Shiva invented email? What? Damn. This is exactly right. Dead YouTube channel. Exactly right. MIT Shiva. Huh. That's crazy. I'll have to ask him about that. Well, folks, we have come to the end of another rollicking hour plus. That was some good shit. That was some really good shit. Can you sell your soul? Yes and no. Can you get it back? Yes. Already done that, Clear Blue, a couple times. Can you do it? Yes. Can you get it back? Yes. But understand why it's there. It's to get you into the mindset of selling soul, selling soul, selling soul. And if you're exceptional, if you want to do something exceptional, if you want to get out of mediocrity, if you want to do something different and new, it keeps you from wanting to do something different and new, because people that do different and new shit are hearing from the devil, and nobody wants to be that. So it keeps you within the lines. It's designed to keep rams out of the flock. And it's designed to condition you to the fact that you're going to sell your soul, but Jesus wants you to sell it to him so he can make you his happy meal for eternity. You are too valuable to be anybody's happy damn meal. Cancel that contract. Cancel that contract. I'm just the mailman. I bring the mail. You read it. You don't read it. Sometimes I bring you bills. You hate me. I bring you checks. You love me. It's up to you what you do with the information. For Tracy Dyer and all of our other great moderators, I say thank you. For the lovely Cynthia, we are here to remind you that we're the last generation of real humans. I salute you for being here seeking after truth. I encourage you to guide your own spirit, master your own ascension, be your own guru, unindoctrinate your damn self, and get busy.